In a world where the value of higher education has been drilled into us from a young age, it's jarring to realize that a degree doesn't automatically translate into financial success. Why? Because if society can train you to do a specific job, then it can also train others to replace you, because any skills that can be mass-produced are skills that can be replaced. Peter Thiel proposed the theory of elite surplus and argued in his books and papers that society manufactures workers like it manufactures cars through factories, and university graduates through decades of education and training. The end product is either a car you can drive or a person who can make pivot tables in Excel. The only difference is that a piece of steel doesn't care whether it's made into the engine of a Bentley or a Buick. But if given a choice, people naturally prefer more prestigious careers. Unfortunately, the careers that most people choose for prestige, even those endorsed by so-called career planners, are not necessarily the most suitable for you. Ironically, many blue-collar jobs actually pay more than middle management positions because the shortage of talent in these non-elite jobs gives them far greater bargaining power in the real market than a history PhD applying for a research position. However, most people still believe that those who sit behind desks are more elite than those who work with their hands. So if given a choice, they would still prefer to work in an office. I'm not suggesting that you should go out and find a blue-collar job, or a higher-paying job is better. Instead, in this age of elite overproduction, perhaps we should think more about what kind of work truly suits you, because only when you find that can you win your own life in the longer run. So, what's the foundation of making money? Is it your interests, skills, or education? Actually, it's none of these. The foundation of making money comes from your unique strengths, and these strengths aren't the so-called skills that can be taught. What are your true strengths? They are the things that others struggle to learn, but for you, feel like play. This is your talent. When you discover your talent, you can build your unique strengths around it. Take sales, for example. It's a unique strength. Some people are simply born to be great at sales. They always have a way of making an impression. They are exceptionally good at selling themselves. That's their strength. Their sales techniques may come from learning, but certainly not from school. They might have honed their skills by going door to door selling secondhand goods or through negotiating with their parents. Strengths can't be taught, but they can be learned. How do you discover your true strengths? Start by reflecting on what tasks you can accomplish effortlessly, even if you don't see them as skills. For instance, if you find it easy to learn any musical instrument, it's a sign that you have a strong musical talent. If you can easily immerse yourself in something and quickly retain related knowledge, it indicates you have a great ability to focus. If you're passionate about science fiction and enjoy exploring new and unique things, it suggests you have a knack for absorbing new information. If you're good at games, it might mean you have a deep understanding of game theory. If you enjoy gossip, perhaps you have a keen interest in human nature. If you're particularly sensitive to numbers, you may have a talent for investment. Everyone grows up in different environments. These are our external conditions. When these conditions combine with our genetic predispositions, each of us ends up with a unique set of strengths. If you haven't discovered yours yet, it doesn't mean they don't exist. It just means you haven't found them. Once you find the field you're naturally inclined towards and skilled at, you'll unlock your unique advantage. After all, when it comes to being yourself, there's no one who can do it better than you. Naval Ravikant is a renowned investor and a serial entrepreneur based in the United States. He has invested in over 200 well-known companies, including Uber, Twitter, Poshmark, Notion, Clubhouse, and more. Among these, 10 have already become unicorns. Despite his impressive track record, Naval is someone who enjoys science, learns quickly, but also easily gets bored with routine. He once said that if his job required him to research a single problem for 20 years, he wouldn't be good at it. Instead, his career in venture capital demands that he stay ahead of the curve and quickly adapt to emerging technologies. In this rapidly evolving tech landscape, his tendency to get bored actually works in his favor. Interestingly, Naval wasn't always set on becoming an entrepreneur. As a child, his ambition was to be a scientist, believing that scientists sit at the top of the human production chain. In his view, business and money stem from technology, and technology itself comes from science. He believes that humanity has made breakthroughs thanks to the inventions and contributions of scientists, more so than any other group of people. Without science, we would still be living in primitive conditions, rubbing sticks together to make fire. As a kid, Naval understood that scientists are among the most powerful people in the world, and he aspired to become one. His early beliefs and values were centered around science, which led him to reflect on his unique strengths and where he spent most of his time. An interesting anecdote from his teenage years reveals his mother's keen insight into his future. When Naval was around 15 or 16, he told his friends that he wanted to become an astrophysicist. His mother, overhearing the conversation from the kitchen, casually remarked, "No, you're going to go into business." Looking back, Naval acknowledges that his mother understood him better than anyone else. Naval has an obsession with data and excels at breaking it down. He has a natural affinity for technology, making complex subjects feel like play to him, while others may struggle with the same challenges. This ability to effortlessly engage with data and technology helps explain why he found success in venture capital and achieved such remarkable accomplishments. One of the most crucial skills for building wealth is being a lifelong learner. No matter what we want to learn, we must find ways and methods to do so. In the past, the path to making money involved spending 4 years in college, getting a degree, and dedicating 30 years to a specific field, accumulating wealth over time. However, things have changed. Nowadays, the game has shifted. We now need to master a new profession in just 9 months, and that profession might be outdated in 4 years. Therefore, becoming an expert in a completely new field within 9 to 12 months is far more important than picking the right major. Basic arithmetic skills are more valuable than the advanced calculus taught in school. Developing the ability to communicate and persuade others to buy your product is far more important than earning a degree in marketing. If you don't know what you're good at, it's likely because you don't understand yourself well enough. The fastest way to explore yourself is to test yourself in extreme situations. For instance, imagine you only have 6 months left to live. How would you choose to live your life? By considering how you would spend this time, with whom, and what you would do, you'll naturally gain a clearer understanding of yourself and discover where your strengths lie. Secondly, think in reverse from the things you dislike. If you're unsure about what you enjoy, start by identifying what you dislike. Then consider the opposite. For example, if you don't like dealing with complex interpersonal issues, a corresponding option could be a job that doesn't require much human interaction, such as becoming an engineer. If you dislike routine and monotonous work, then perhaps a field involving creativity would suit you. So if you really have no idea where your talents lie, start by thinking about the tasks or jobs you hate. Ask yourself why these things make you unhappy and find their opposite. This often reflects a person's true talents. Third, observe when you enter a state of flow. Reflect on your past experiences and identify which activities bring you the most joy and which ones make you lose track of time, as if you're fully immersed in the moment. Even if hours pass by, you don't feel tired. Instead, you feel increasingly engaged. This is your flow state. When you can enter flow doing something, it means that you're not just being disciplined or trying hard, you're genuinely passionate about the activity itself. For example, some people find joy in talking with clients, others become fully absorbed when analyzing data, and some people have an endless stream of creative ideas when they're thinking deeply. These are often clues to your natural talents. You could take a day to do nothing but reflect quietly or talk to people close to you to see how they perceive you. What activities make you most excited and focused? When you discover what puts you in a state of flow, you've found your talents. Also, the key is not to overthink, but to keep trying new things. It might sound cliché, but it's true. If you really want to know what you're good at, you'll only find out by experimenting and experiencing a lot. If you're in your 20s, this is your first decade as an adult. Make the most of your ability to take risks while you're young. Try anything you want and see what happens. Even if you fail, you haven't started a family yet, and you still have the capacity to rebuild your life. If you feel like this video has brought you any value, I'd really appreciate it if you could give it a like and share it with people around you so they can grow alongside you. If you enjoy this kind of content and topics, feel free to subscribe and hit the notification bell in the app. Our goal with this channel is to share high-value content that helps you expand your mindset and break free from a scarcity mentality. That's all for today's video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.